Welcome to the Quantum Body Podcast, where transformation isn't just skin deep. We blend manifestation with functional health so you can heal your body, shift your mindset, and create the life and body you actually want.
Hosted by two functional health coaches and self-healing rebels, this podcast is your space to learn how to regulate your nervous system, rebalance your hormones, and rewire your reality. Each week, we dive into the root causes of weight loss resistance, hormone havoc, stress, and inflammation, and how to shift your body from stuck to responsive. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right, but nothing is changing, this show is for you. We believe that healing is multidimensional, and so are you.
This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical condition, nor is it a substitute for personalized medical advice from a licensed provider.
Awesome.
Well, happy
Happy.
Friday.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Well,
Man, oh
what
man,
what what is going on? I mean, we know you're in the throes of prep. You're feeling it.
feeling it. Feeling it. Talking before about you know, preferences and prep and I was just kind of I would rather push harder with like cardio and like output than with input, like dietary changes and whatnot. And my coach favors more dietary changes and less output. So like,
Which is so funny to me because I'm the same as you. I would rather do more cardio than cut back on food. And any of the preps I've ever done, it's always been that way as well. I mean, well, food gets low too, but it's
yeah.
focused on the output first. But I
Mhm.
feel like when your food starts dropping, especially for someone like you who's used to such a high intake, like that's a struggle. I mean, I know you were saying like, "Oh, I'm still probably at 1500 calories." And it's like, "Yeah, but you came from like 3500,
I know.
4000. Like that's a big drop."
It is. And you know what, too? I mean, I get it from like a coaching perspective, right? Because it's a lot easier to take away 150 calories than it is to burn 150 calories. And I
Yeah.
think that, we tend to overestimate how many calories we're actually burning during cardio, where I think I heard some stat somewhere where it was like you burn 100 calories if you run a mile or something.
Yeah, it's
Or
wild
what it
because
is. I should look at it, but
yeah,
it's not a
because most
lot.
no, and your smartwatches and
So
the
wrong.
the screens on the treadmills and cardio equipment, they're so wrong. So people are like, "Oh, well, I just burned 1,000 calories," and it's like, no, you probably burned 100 or 80, or like it's not near as much as like people think it is.
Yeah, so 10 minutes running will burn 100 calories, according to this. But,
And that's also running hard. That's not a jog.
right, it says if you run a 7-minute mile, which I
Do you
got
know how
short little
fast
legs.
a
That's
7 minute mile is?
like, so that's really fast.
I was proud of
Um,
myself for getting to an 11-minute mile. Like,
yeah, and so seriously, I think the military requires like a 10-minute mile or something.
yeah.
So, I mean, 7 is fast. But yeah, so I get like the reasoning behind it. Like it's easier to take away 100 calories of food than to like output 100 calories. And, from a coaching perspective, like, if you're dialing up somebody's output, then like their NEAT is going to come down naturally unless you're like very closely monitoring it.
Yeah.
So, you start moving less and taking less steps and being less active throughout the day. So it's kind of like to what end. But man, if I had my druthers, I'd rather do more cardio right now and have more carbs.
I think that's something that like fucks up a lot of competitors too, is because there's a lot of like say coaches out there and that don't monitor those like nuances very well.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, naturally when your calories go down, your NEAT is going to go down, right? You're just
Yeah.
generally going to move less. And so you really have to be paying attention to that, right? Like, what is your step goal? How much cardio are you prescribing? Like, you have to make sure that person is actually still moving, because naturally we're designed to survive. Naturally, we're going to
Right.
just move less.
And so then you got to, remember your TDEE is going to go down
Yeah.
as well, because part of like your base burned calories is digesting food, and you're just kind of fidgeting throughout the day. So if you are
Yeah.
digesting less food because you're in a stricter deficit, and then you're more tired, so you're moving less, it's almost like the double whammy. So
Yeah.
I get his approach. I just don't love it.
Yeah, for sure. I think yeah, I don't love it either, but like you said, it's easier to control, right? It's easier to
Yeah,
control, even though you
yeah,
still have to pay attention to the other metrics then though, right? Like if I gave you 500 less calories and you just slept all day long, well, did that do what we wanted it to? Maybe not.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's just keeping everything else consistent on less intake, but I tell
Which for those,
everybody, oh, go
oh,
ahead.
I was going to say, which for those who have never competed, that's why competing's hard.
Yes. Yes. You know what it is it's not only, so I always tell people that what makes competitive bodybuilding hard is because it's a 24/7 job.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I did all my tasks for the day. Now I can take a breather and decompress. Or like there is no off button. And so
Yeah.
because it's 24/7, like you have to be on point for, the whole year, arguably. But, and then in prep, as you know, you're never fully satisfied. Like you never eat
Never.
a meal and you're like, oh wow, I'm so satisfied. That was delicious. It's like you're always hungry. And so like
Always.
that's a weird thing to get used to. And my son, he's so funny. He always jokes around. You know how like the Hulk is like when he asks like what his secret is, and he's like, how do you manage your anger? And the Hulk is like, oh, I'm just always angry. And so my son always compares me to the Hulk, and he's like, your secret, you're just always hungry. So what does it matter if you're hungry?
Yeah. And it's so true. It's so true. Like you get to that point in prep where it's like, it doesn't matter if I just ate or if I ate an hour ago or like I still feel like my stomach is eating itself. Like,
Yes. And then it's so frustrating sometimes. Like yesterday, wait, today's Friday. So yesterday was my check-in, and I woke up probably, I think it was like 3 or 3:30. I refuse to look at the clock unless like I know it's close to wake up time, because then I'll just, anyways. But it was like probably like 3 or 3:30, and I woke up from like pure hunger pain. Like I was so freaking hungry.
that's the
Then I was
worst.
contemplating, I'm like, do I go and like take a few tokes of a J just so I can go back to sleep? Because like that's how much I couldn't sleep. Like,
You know, it's so funny. There was this one time, and so there was this one prep that I was in, and it was a short prep. We only did an 8 week prep. And so it was brutal. Like I was
ooh,
doing like 2 hours of cardio a day, like my food was low. Like it was a grind because it was such a short prep. And so I started smoking weed
mhm.
before bed just to help me sleep. And one night I woke up in the middle of the I was sleepwalking, so I can't say I woke up in the middle of the night. I got up in the middle of the night
Oh
and I
God.
ate an entire bag of crispy minis and I had no idea. I woke up the next morning and I was like, why does my mouth taste so weird? And then I see the like empty bag on the floor and I was like, oh my God. So ever
Wait,
since then, I will not smoke weed before bed. Like
what is crispy minis?
the little rice cakes?
Yeah.
The flavored little bags of rice cakes. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's cute. Oh my
yeah,
God. Well, I guess it could have been worse.
it could have been.
It could have been like some,
Yeah,
decadent cookie or cake or something, or ice
it could have. I
cream,
mean,
but
at least my
hard.
unconscious brain still loves rice cakes. Like,
I was telling Brian, like, he's like, oh, what do you want to do for post show? And I was like, can I just have like a rice cake with some good nut butter on it? It's like, who needs anything fancy? Like,
yeah.
I was like, I just want my rice cakes with nut butter and a little drizzle of honey, like
Oh,
creating
that's
extra.
heaven. That's heaven. Fucking rice cakes are like one of my favorite things. Like it's so funny. So my coach, she just gave me my new meal plan. I'm like, she knows me so well because it's rice, cream of rice, and rice cakes and
Yeah,
fruit. Those are my favorite carb sources. Like
love
I
that.
can die happy.
I love that. Any form of rice and we're happy.
Yeah,
which is so crazy. Like I wish like the general population would stop demonizing.
I
Like I still
know.
hear people are like, "Oh, I could never eat white rice." And I'm
Yeah.
like it's just crazy to me the lack of knowledge that people have around nutrition still,
Yeah.
you know?
And it's so funny. My one client, we have talked about her before, but we've been having a conversation about, she's in a build phase right now. And I've been trying to get her out of playing macro Tetris and trying to
Mm,
fit in like the healthy treats and the sweet treats and all of that sort of stuff and just
yeah.
focusing more on whole foods, especially for changing body composition. I think that's so important.
It's
And
king.
so I did up like a sample meal plan for her and I'm like, okay, this is what I want it to look like. And so she's like, well, the rice cakes are keeping me sane. And she's like, but she texted me yesterday, I think it was, and she's like, all the rice is doing my digestion wonderful. And this is somebody who's like had couldn't, we've gone through gut protocols and all of the other stuff. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, it's not just the rice, but it's focusing more on whole foods. Like that improves your digestion immediately. Um,
Tenfold.
yeah,
Like there's no better thing.
yeah,
I love that. I love
me
that. I
too.
just had a client start and she was with me for I think I shared this on the last week's podcast or whatever, but she was with me for a few weeks and she dropped like 3 pounds the first week and 3 pounds the second week, which usually is, a little bit too aggressive. But I did not change her macros. All I did was take away her ability to build her own meal plan on said macros. And then I built the meal plan on whole foods that, I know digest well with her because she's a previous client. And so it was just so crazy. And I took away all of her cardio.
Yeah. And
Took away
that's
her
so
cardio,
wild
kept
to
the food the
me.
same, but then just changed out the food sources instead of like the Pop Tarts and whatnot.
And people don't realize how much that affects your body, right? Your body
Mm,
composition and everything like, especially nowadays on social media, there's so much of this fucking it's calories in, calories out. The only thing that matters
yeah,
is calories, you can have your McDonald's and blah blah blah. And it's like, but that's not true because the quality of the food that you're eating, the micronutrients matter just as much as the macronutrients.
100%. And I think, you know, the devil is in the dose, right? Like, yeah, you could go out and sub your macros and fit in a McDonald's sandwich or whatever, like once a month, and you'll still progress and look probably fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you could do it every single day.
And that's the problem.
It doesn't mean
Like,
like, macro and the fun stuff every day.
and even the things that people are like, oh, but it's healthy, like protein bars or the
Mm,
pop tarts and all of that sort of shit, right? And everybody's like, yeah, but it's healthy, like it's a healthy treat. And I'm like, okay, but it's still crap. It's
yeah.
still processed foods, right?
And not only that, but I had this conversation with one of my girls recently, and I'm sure you've done it because we're, twinning in how we coach. But she was looking at like one of those protein cookies, and it was like a pre-packaged protein cookie. And I was like, let's look at the macros and the macros, and I'll leave the brand anonymous only because I don't really remember it. But I want to say it was like a Larry's cookie or something like
Oh,
that,
the
like
Len
a
and Larry's.
well-known one. And
Yeah.
it was like 400 calories and like 40 something carbohydrates and 25 grams of fat and like 10 grams of protein. And so I was like, sis, have the actual chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
Then just have a protein shake on the side if if you need to hit your protein goals. Cause like this is
It's not
this is not good
protein.
for you, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, your body doesn't know what to do with all these chemicals.
And it
Have
tastes
a
like
real
shit.
homemade cookie that actually tastes good, that's going to satisfy your sweet tooth, and then
Yeah.
move the fuck on. Like,
Like, have you had one of those cookies? They're terrible.
so I've tried a couple of like different protein snacks in my day, but I've never had that brand only
Oh,
because I when I was still like playing macro Tetris, my calories were so low that I wasn't willing to chew up so many grams of fat for a quick
yeah.
cookie. Like I was like, no, I would never, because my fat was always so low because, before you know what you're doing, you do stupid stuff. And
Yeah.
so, like I had my fat at like 40 grams a day for like a year.
Oh my God, that's so low.
And like at some points it was even down to like 25 grams a day. And this was under the guidance of a coach. Like I wasn't just totally crazy. But
Your
I was
coach was,
macro.
though.
Yeah. Well, different anyways. But I was macroing in like whatever I could. And so that those brands of cookies with 20 grams of fat, I was like, no way. Ain't no
Yeah.
way.
That's so funny. I worked at a supplement shop for a little while, and I remember we had those cookies, and I remember looking at the cookie, and I looked at the macros on the back, and I'm like, oh, this isn't too bad. Like, sure, I'll have this cookie. And so I ate it, and I'm like, well, first that tasted like shit, and then I went to like plug it into my Fitness Pal, and I actually looked at the label, and what I was reading was for half the cookie.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm like, I was like, and because I'm like, oh
Then
yeah,
you're pissed.
yeah, I was so mad because I'm like, yeah, these macros aren't so bad. And I was like,
Right.
even when it tasted
Could have
like
had a good
crap, I was
cookie.
like, I'm like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I still got lots of macros. And then when I realized it was double, I'm like, that just ate up like all of my fats for the day, the majority of my
Yes.
carbs, and it wasn't worth it.
Wasn't even good. It's
No.
so funny when you look at like your food calories now is like I like are like expensive because you have like a budget of calories to use or macros to use and like you're like that's an expensive food item. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
that just cost a lot of macros.
You always have to go like, well, is it worth it? Like, I don't know. I don't
And you look
know.
at food so much differently. But yeah, there is one protein cookie that I will ever have. And I sent you the page. It's Bake It by Angie on Instagram. Definitely plugging them there. But they are like they give the macros for like the whole cookie. They're not like manipulating anything and doing like net carbs or like minusing fiber and like all the BS that a lot of companies
Yeah.
do. And they taste like a real freaking delicious cookie. But that's the only exception to my rule. Other than that, I would just rather have a real cookie and then get back on meal plan.
Yeah, me too. I
It's
think,
just not worth it.
yeah, I don't know. I just look at food so differently now too. I know we both went through our phases of macro Tetris and making healthy recipes and fitting in all the junk that we could into
Well,
our
this is what I
macros
meant.
and
You
stuff
like
like
your
that.
cravings are so crazy still from the
Mhm.
typical American diet that like it's almost like withdrawal symptoms when you're like
Yeah,
trying to eat normally. So it's almost like you kind of need that bridge for a little bit.
you do. And like now I'm like, I don't care. I just want my rice. I want my rice and my veggies
My
and
rice and my beef and my honey and like
yeah. I'm like, that's what I crave. Like I don't
Mhm.
crave the crap anymore.
Yeah. Or when people ask you like, "Oh, what's your post-show meal gonna be?" And I'm like, "Steak?"
That's
Like
always
probably like
that's
probably
always
a
my
really
favorite.
good steak. I don't know. I might every once in a while I might do like sushi, but I don't even like doing sushi because of the sodium. And I
Oh
always feel like a
yeah.
little bit like I just don't feel like it hits the same way. But like a
Yeah.
good steak after a show. Mm.
I also feel like when you eat sushi, like you get hungry right away afterwards.
Well, and two, I I just feel like it's really easy to overeat,
Oh, it's
and
so
especially
easy.
post show, because like you're like
Yeah.
on this like, oh, it doesn't matter what I eat. I've got, my window if I can eat whatever I want. And
Well, and
so,
your leptin and ghrelin is all out of whack and
and
like
you've been
so
starving all day and you're
yeah, your satiety
dehydrated and
cues are
like
gonna
on a
be
high. Yeah. So I usually will go to like a nicer restaurant and get a steak because then like I said, the sushi, I'll get so many rolls. Like my eyes are way bigger than my stomach and I never feel great after.
yeah. My favorite is like sometimes it'll be like a burger, but usually it's a steak.
Yeah, I did a burger last time. Um, but it was like a really bougie restaurant burger, so it
Yeah.
was really good. It was really good.
And it has to be like for me, I know a lot of other people would disagree and they go to like In and Out or
In and out,
wherever.
yes.
Yeah, and for me, like, no, it's got to be
No.
bougie. Like, we're going
Yeah.
somewhere expensive. I am not
Mhm.
getting cheap food post meal.
No, we're
I
not.
want like 5 star.
Yep. We're doing high quality, nothing
Yeah,
less. So Brian was already asking me about like the next show or whatever. He's like, do you think we should make reservations just because of like the size and like probably everybody's leaving the same time and every place is going to be packed. And so we were just kind of looking at like a few different places. It's like, well, what do you want? And I was like, I don't really care. Like, I don't really care like which, as long as it's like a decent place with a good steak. all I care about.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I'm so excited for you to compete.
yeah, I am excited and nervous and all the things, but I keep trying to just like remind myself that this is the best I've ever looked. So like that in and of itself is such a win.
Your transformation over this last year is a win, no matter
So
what.
yeah, and so I'm like just really trying to like go into it with no pressure and just having fun. Because I feel like I always kind of put pressure on myself because I've never not placed well. And so I just like I've never, had that. I don't know. I always take it very, very seriously and like I never have
Yeah.
fun. And then after I'm like, man, I wish I was like more like present during like all the things. And so that's my goal this time is to like just be present for the whole day and like soak up all the memories and just have fun and have fun on stage.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
I like that. That's good. It's hard to do. I mean, I think like for myself, in competing, um, it's hard to live in the moment and not be worried because we always like who doesn't want to win? Everybody goes, well, I'm gonna say everybody, but like maybe not everybody. Everybody goes into it wanting to win.
Right.
And so you get so like wrapped up in the minutia that you miss that bigger picture, right? And yeah, it is disappointing sometimes when you look back on it and you're like, oh, I should have had more fun or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And two, I feel like if I get focused on like placings, then I pick myself apart. And
Yeah.
then me picking myself apart causes me to be more in my head, which causes me to be more nervous.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like this like snowball of a situation that happens when I take it too seriously.
And I
So,
think at the end of the day, especially when it comes to competing, and I always told myself this, is that you have to remember that it's truly you versus you.
mhm,
Like, yeah, we want to place, yeah, we want to win, but at the end of the day, it's just beating your last package. And if you can get
yeah,
on stage and you beat your last package, that's all that matters. Because for the most part, bodybuilding is very subjective. And you might get on stage and they liked the dark hair girl better than the blonde girl. And that was just their
right?
preference that day, right? So, um, in bodybuilding, you're never done. Like you never
Yeah,
get to a place where you're like, oh, I won and I'm perfect now. You're always going to be like, okay, well, now I need more glutes or
exact
more
version.
hamstrings or, you're
Hmm.
back to the drawing board. So you have to go into it going, okay, as long as I beat my previous package, like that made it all worth it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And so that's my goal this time is just Hayes in the barn. Like I've done the work. I've worked my ass off, and so I'm just gonna enjoy it. And whatever placing that is, that's what it is. And then,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm trying to like not hype it up too much, which is crazy because it's like the biggest show I've done. But at the same time, I'm like the calmest going into it.
That's
Like
good. That's good. Um,
calmest going into it.
And that's what matters. That's what matters. And you're saying nice things to your body, telling it it's wonderful and it's beautiful and speaking nicely to
You know
it.
what, that part though, I feel, well, we both agree on this, but people don't understand the power of their words. And yeah, we've talked about like my visualization and like all the things that I do. And does that mean I'm gonna win? No, but it means that I have done remarkable things as far as my progress. And looking at me this year versus me last year is like a night and day difference. And so, the way that you speak to yourself and how you think about yourself and the words that you're playing on a loop, like they freaking matter. They matter so much. Even like today, I was at the gym and I took my selfie and I was like, oh, and I started like picking myself apart. And then I was like, wait, stop it. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? And so we all have those moments, but holy moly.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about this before the podcast, but there's studies out that show that how you talk to your body can change your health faster than supplements. And I think that ties, back into manifestation and everything
Hmm.
else and visualization and all of those things because your body is always listening, right? And your cells respond to what you are telling them. So you're either speaking disease into your body or you're speaking life into your body. And I think that's one of the biggest things that like most people miss. And I know we talk about this with our clients all the time is like if you're constantly looking in the mirror and being like, oh my God, I'm so fat, or you're identifying as your illness or autoimmunity or condition or whatever it is, like if that is your identity, then nothing is ever going to change because you're literally telling your cells how to wire themselves by the way you talk to your body.
Right. Well, because I mean, let's face it, your body is so much smarter than you are. And your brain and every single functional system that you have is trying to prove you right
Yeah.
all the time. So if you're telling yourself like, oh my God, I'm so sick, or there's something wrong with me, or there's this, or then your brain is going to be like, okay, bet. Like, hold
I'm
my
going to prove
bag.
you right.
Let me show you all the evidence now. I can find you some evidence. And I tell Brian this every single time I'm getting sick. I'm like, no, I'm just going to will myself better. And he's like, okay.
You do it.
And
But
you
it's
and I were talking
true.
about that too, actually, in
Yeah.
prep. I had like a health scare, and you were like, maybe you should go be seen. And I was like, no, I'm gonna will myself better. This will be fine by tomorrow.
Yeah. And it was.
And it was.
Yeah.
And it
And it's
was.
so true though, because like whatever you tell yourself is your reality. So if you're like, oh my God, I'm getting sick, I'm like, my throat is scratchy and all of this, like, okay, yeah, your body's going to be like, okay, I'll prove you
Let's get
right.
fit. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I know I've done that a lot lately. Even just like, moving back to Alberta and the last like couple weeks and every once in a while I'll wake up and I'm like, "Oh no, am I getting sick?" And I'm like, "Nope, I'm not. I'm
We've
healthy."
had this conversation.
Yeah. I'm like, "I'm good. It's not
I'm like, my throat's
happening."
scratchy, or this is happening. And I'm
Yeah.
like, nope. Oh, nope.
It's like absolutely not. I mean, people
Not
call
that
it
good.
delusional, but it's not delusional. You program your reality.
I mean, whatever limitations you want to put on your own self, if you want to tell me that I'm delusional, but everything that I want, I attract to me, fine, I'll be delusional. Like,
I mean, if you think about it at the quantum level, we're literally in a matrix. None of this is fucking real, right? We're creating this by the things that we think and how we move through the world and what we believe. Like it's our reality. So like, why would I make my reality suck?
right, right. Like if I could have whatever I wanted and choose whatever timeline based off of my choices and what I'm attracting and what I'm constantly telling myself, why wouldn't I reach for the highest
Yeah.
version possible? Why would I still continue to, oh, I'm fat or I'm not good enough or I'm getting sick or my X, Y, and Z sucks or what have you? It's like, no, 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 nay, nay.
Yeah.
Do like, I mean, even silly things like, your car. Like if you have an old beat up car, like, are you telling yourself it's an old beat up car? Or are you telling yourself, like, man, I'm so lucky to have this freaking car that's paid off?
Yeah.
Like everything is a choice.
And
Everything.
it's so funny because I know we've talked about like gratitude journaling and stuff like that before. And I gratitude journal every morning, but my car is always on my gratitude journal because I
Oh,
am
that's
very
funny.
grateful to have a vehicle. Like, what would my life be without it? I mean, I love my Jeep, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying it's a piece of shit or anything, but like you got to be grateful for everything that you have because that's how you become grateful for bring in all the other things you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Romanticizing the small stuff.
Yeah, view your life through rose-colored glasses. That's like one of the best pieces of advice I think I've gotten this year.
And it just gets so much better when you do that.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're from, a quantum level and you start raising your vibration because you start vibrating from a place of love and gratitude. It's the highest vibration you can reach for. And I mean, everything is energy. So you're attracting high vibration back to you. Like what? I don't know. We could really go down a rabbit hole, but
We could.
anybody that's listening that's like, nah, that's a little too woo-woo for me. I guarantee do a little bit of a rabbit hole down quantum physics. and then come back and listen. Like,
Yeah. And
especially
just
lately, because there's so much coming out.
there is, it's
There's
so
so
cool. Like it
much.
gets
I
me
wonder if
so
I can keep
excited.
up with
I think, for anybody that's sitting there going, oh, well, no, I don't think so. I would give you the task of spend 1 week not saying anything negative to yourself.
hmm
Catch yourself every time you want to think, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm too fat, or I'm sick, or whatever it is. Spend 1 week only speaking positive things to yourself and see how your life changes.
Yeah, yeah. Just a 7-day challenge.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
do we want to shift gears or pause
sure.
because we have calls?
We do have calls. We got about like 5 minutes.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, do you want to kind of share any changes in your life?
Oh man, there's so many.
Let's have a little chat time.
Pardon?
What's going on in your life? Do you want to talk about it yet or not? Not publicly.
Um, it's funny. I kind of thought about like sharing some of the things that are going on. I mean, I think, one of the biggest shifts is that I am planning to compete again, yeah, I know. I'm so excited. I didn't
So
know
excited.
if I was ever going to do that again. Um, and then I think the other big thing, and this ties into our last week's episode about letting go of the how. And we don't have a lot of time to get into this, so I'm gonna keep it brief. And this is also very personal and like vulnerable to me, but we talked about probably one of like our early episodes on the Quantum Body podcast. We talked about how what like really broke me open for manifestation earlier this year was like the heartbreak that I went through.
hmm
And I really got into manifestation because I was interested in like, SP manifestation, so like specific person. And I really like got into my head about if I did not manifest this person back, I was a failure at manifesting. And like as much as that's such a stupid belief, that was like the ingrained in me. It was like if I
hmm
do not get this person back, like I'm just failing. I'm failing at manifesting. And then we've been talking the last few weeks, months, or whatever, so much about like letting go of the how and just,
Which is
really,
hard.
it's so hard.
So hard.
Especially when you're sitting there going like, okay, this reality is the matrix and it's whatever I say I want it to be. So why can't I have this thing that I say that I want, right? Like if I
Right.
can't have this, what am I doing wrong? And in reality, like the universe is still trying to give you what you want, but you have to let go of the how. Because, yeah, I say I want this specific person, and the universe is like, You don't. Bitch, listen to me. That's not the right one." Like, and
You're
so,
wrong.
yeah, and it was so funny. And I don't know what caused it, but I started having this reflection of like, maybe I don't want this person back. Like, maybe I was settling. Like, just because it was the best of the worst doesn't mean it's what I really want. And as soon as I let go of that and I, really thought about like what it is that I want, that person showed up.
Yeah,
And that's so fucking wild. Like, yeah.
literally. Just
So,
as soon as you're like, okay, but what is it that I want? And you remove the identity of that previous person
yeah.
and focus on the qualities and, morals and attributes that you want your person to have, and then they are just like hand delivered into your life. And it was so crazy too, because when you were like telling me about this individual, I was like, is he real? Like, why is he
I
so perfect?
know. It's so funny.
Why is this person like exactly what you wanted? Like, how
To
did
the T, to the
and
T.
what's
Like,
so crazy is like you never, I guess like things evolve and like who knows, maybe you won't feel like this in a month or a year or 10 years or whatever. But the way that the universe was just like, okay, this is what you want here.
yeah,
And like just literally like, and the way that, and we don't have to share your whole story, but the way that it just like happened, like serendipitously, like here you go.
yeah. Like every day I'm in shock and like, I'm sitting there going like, I didn't think this existed. I didn't think this was like real. And It's such a powerful testament to the fact that as soon as you let go of the how, the universe can actually move in. Because when you're
Mm-hmm.
gripping that thing that you say that you want so tightly, whether it's money, love, abundance, like whatever it is, if you're fucking white knuckling that shit, the universe has nowhere to go. And as
Right,
soon as you open up your hands and go, okay, well, I don't know what this is going to look like, but I trust that you're going to bring it, then energy can move again.
right.
And so I think a
And
lot of times, like we're the ones in our own way.
so much so. And you know what's so frustrating is when you're kind of like on the other side of things and like you listen to spiritual teachers and they're always like, oh, you have blocks or, money blocks or relationship blocks or like whatever, whatever. And you're like, I'm not freaking blocked. Like, but I think what you don't realize is that your block a lot of times is your inability to let go of the how things are going to happen. And the
Yeah.
block a lot of times is the subconscious programming that we have, like, like you just said, like, oh, I didn't think this kind of person was real.
Yeah.
Or like it's like this subconscious that, and like those are like the blocks that I feel like a lot of, spiritual mentors and gurus are talking about. And we're always like, that's so dumb. I don't have any blocks. Like,
Yeah.
but you do. We do. And I think that that's part of the journey is learning how to release all of that. And not everybody's going to learn it.
No, not everybody is. And I think for me, like it was a really powerful lesson because I was like, okay, well, if I can manifest this, what I, love and the things that I've been saying that I want, if I can manifest that, well, then I can manifest anything. But
Mm-hmm.
the lesson was to let go of the how.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
So hard.
But
So
I feel like
hard.
every single time we do, what comes is so much better than what we were trying to white knuckle,
Exactly. And I
right?
think that's the biggest lesson of the universe.
It's like that part, mic
Yeah.
drop.
Yeah. Because like as soon as you let go, I mean, that's why they say, right? The secret to manifestation is just embodiment. So the version of you that has what you want, how do they move through the day? How do they exist? How do they show up? And as soon as you just focus on how do you show up, everything else is
Become
going
that
to move to
person.
you and
Hmm.
it's going to be so much better than you could have imagined. Like I think that's the craziest thing is like we think we know. We think okay, money has to show up through this avenue. And as soon as we let go of that, oh, well, you just, you got your Botox and filler for like $300 and I got the U-Haul and all these other things, right? Like just show up out of nowhere. And it's like, okay, well, I don't know better than how do I know better than consciousness? I don't. Like that's an ego problem.
Seriously. There was just something else that happened too with money that I was like, got something for like dirt cheap. And I was like, dang, the universe just loves to shock me. I forget
Oh,
what it
your
was.
fish, your fish.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So we were talking about how expensive my cod habit is because I've been going to the fishmonger for my cod instead of buying from the grocery store, which after going down this whole rabbit hole, it's different. It's not the same. And so I'm not crazy. It does taste different because it is different. But yeah, and so we were talking about how I was going to be cod poor, like people are house poor or car poor, but I was going to be cod poor, and like we were having like this whole thing. And then I got to the fishmonger and I got a little like $100 worth of fish for 45 bucks just
Just
because they're like, oh,
because.
thank you for being loyal. And I was like, oh my God, I could cry.
Yeah. See, you just got to let go of the how.
Yeah, yeah. But all right.
We better wrap this up.
Yes, thanks for hanging out with us on the Quantum Body podcast, where we talk about all things that really move the needle from gut health to hormone balance to nervous system regulation, mindset, and manifesting your dream reality from the inside out.
Like, follow, and subscribe for all things functional health and quantum healing. Want to go deeper with us? You can find us on Instagram at coachc.wellness and at crystal_stretch. Your transformation starts now. Let's rise.